Hello, welcome to my channel. Today, I thought I would talk briefly about toners and essences and kind of where they can fit into your routine, as well as just some of my favorites. I feel like there are a lot of options out there, like with everything, but especially with toners and essences, there's sort of a more finite need for them. And I guess I'll explain that in a little bit, but let's just dive in. I feel like at this point, pretty much everyone has realized that toners have come a long way, especially in the US. These aren't just the astringent alcohol-based toners of yesteryear. They aren't the acne-prone, salicylic acid, like clean and clear, that leaves you feeling dry and flaky. It's so much more than that, which is wonderful. I feel like for combination skin and oily skin types, toners and essences can kind of be your best friend, and they can play a bigger part in your skincare and just making it more of an amazing experience for you than most other skin types. The reason being, most oilier skin types like the feel of a water light or an ultralight texture. You don't really seek out those heavier creams or silicone bases or super emollient, nourishing sort of textures like drier skin types do, irritable skin types do, and even more normal skin types do. But the oilier skin types, there haven't been a whole lot of options to actually get hydration in, get nourishing ingredients in until recently. Thank you to Korean and Asian skincare brands for bringing the trend over. A lot of where their base comes from is really hot, humid environments. So even if you're not an oilier skin type, it just doesn't feel nice to put on these super emollient, rich, hydrating creams like La Mer and things that are similar to that. You look for lightweight, lighter than air, nothing kind of ingredients. You want something that's just going to blend in instantly with your skin, feel like nothing on the surface of your skin, not leave a sort of a silicone feel, not leave a heavy, occlusive feel. You just want stuff that's going to soak in and leave your skin happy as can be. So I'm just going to dive into my favorites and the ones that I've been using and a couple newer ones that I'm enjoying. So the Real Ferment Micro Essence is 93% microbiome ferment complex. Now, that's kind of the basis of most essences and good treatment essences, is a fermented base, whether it's like a galactomyces or Satella asiatica, or there's some roots and mushrooms that do really well as fermented ingredients. And when you ferment the ingredient, it makes all those micronutrients and amino acids and things just accessible to the skin. So it sort of brings them to the surface so that your skin doesn't have to process them through, because all these superfoods out in the world, those are great, and there are some bits and pieces of them that your skin can use instantly as antioxidants or as moisture, but you got to remember that foods and superfoods need to be digested for them to really be superfoods. So they have to get broken down by acids and enzymes in your stomach and your digestive system, and then absorbed in your bloodstream. It doesn't work the same to just apply kale to your face. So that's where fermented ingredients come in. It takes those nice superfoods and natural ingredients that are action-packed, and it breaks them down so that your skin can actually access all of those nice micronutrients and really benefit from them, as opposed to just having kale on your face or thereabouts. So this is one of my favorites. It is just slightly thicker than water. I will do just a little drip test here. And yes, real life, my skin is not perfect, especially on my hands. That is some eczema there. But look, that is already gone, absorbed in. Fragrance-free, scent-free, which is wonderful. You can layer these multiple times, which is something really nice and customizable about treatment essences, is you have all these wonderful ingredients and a little bit of hydration or moisture, And depending on where your skin is sitting that day, you can apply more skins or more layers of it. So what I like to do is put just a little bit in the palm of my hand and then gently pat it in all around my eyes, all around my face, work it down neck and décolletage. What I like to do is put a little bit in the palm of my hand and then just pat it in, press it in around these eyes, all around my face, in through the beard line, really making sure to soften the beard and hydrate the skin underneath there, and then through my neck and décolleté. Then if my skin still feels like it needs a little extra plumping, if it's been going through it, if it's drier, if it's more winter month, I can add multiple layers of that. And there is a phenomenon called the 7 skin method that was going around in the last couple of years. It's a Korean skincare technique of applying 7 layers of toner or essence. Obviously non-astringent, but kind of these nourishing toners and essences, applying 7 skins or 7 layers of them to really hydrate your skin and plump it in and kind of pack it into the layers and the deeper layers of your skin so that you don't have to use heavy moisturizers, you don't have to use heavy ingredients or heavy serums. You just have this nicely plumped, wonderfully hydrated, nourished skin. So usually I would recommend just doing that kind of 7 skin method, but you get the idea that you can adjust the amount of moisture that you have in, whether it's 1 layer or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 or more, and then add a moisturizing sort of occlusive to keep things locked in. But you can get a long ways without having to use super heavy moisturizers, especially for our combination and oilier skin types. You need the moisture, you need the nourishing, but you don't need the weight. So that's a wonderful way to use them. The other one that I'm loving is the MISSHA Time Revolution First Treatment Essence. This is a newer one. This is the RX. I have used the Intensive Moist version for quite some time, and I love that. It's very hydrating. This one is very similar. I feel like it's even maybe a bit more lasting moisture for some reason, but still totally water light on this one. So I'm enjoying this one. I will give a real review at some point. Obviously I haven't used so much of it, but it's been probably 3 weeks or so of using it twice a day. I layer that with my Neogen just because I can never have too many essences. I love them. And like I said, you get those nourishing ingredients. Each of them has their own little extra something that I like, whether it's lactic acid or extra niacinamide or extra hydration or whatever. You can layer multiples on, get the benefits of it without overloading your skin and without feeling heavy. So love it for a mix and match moment. Speaking of mix and match moment, this is another one I did not really expect to love, but it's the Peach and Lilly The Good Acids Pore Toner. Now this one is very pretty, for one. It has multiple food extracts like eggplant extract and sort of these nourishing roots, but very, very tiny concentrations of salicylic acid and lactic acid. I believe it's lactic acid. There are AHAs and BHAs in this, and the reason why they call it the Good Acids Toner is because they realized these really tiny amounts used over long periods get you much better benefit, or at least as good a benefit as higher percentages, sort of more of a Western approach, like a 2% BHA or a 10% glycolic acid. But you can get that effect without the irritation. And since my skin is very irritable, I'm always looking for something that will give me that exfoliation without having to deal with kind of the rebound irritation or the dryness, flakiness, things like that. And I think this is my perfect balance. My favorite exfoliant out there is the 2% BHA from Paula's Choice. The problem is it is something that I have sort of rebound sensitivity to, so I use it maybe 3 nights a week, give or take. But this one I can use every day. I could probably use it twice a day when I was really getting into it. I used it for about a month with just this and just a hydrating essence. But no other exfoliants, no other chemical exfoliants, no other enzymes or anything. And my pores looked great. It's refined the amount of stuff that's in there so that the pores look softened and smaller. Obviously, you can't change the actual size of a pore, but it really does a good job of balancing your skin out, clearing out pores, lifting away the dead skin very, very gently. So you don't see a huge difference overnight, but after the first week and then the second week, you're going, oh, this is great. I don't have flakiness, I don't have this irritation, my skin just looks better, it takes to makeup better, it just looks even and happy, and even better on no makeup days. So amazing stuff. I would highly recommend it, and because it's so gentle, it can go even around the orbital bone and in through those high traffic T-zone areas without worrying that it's going to make your skin go crazy. Awesome. Last but not least, one of the ones that I've been trying out and loving, it actually was introduced to me by James Welsh in his Wish Trend kit, his glowing kit. It is the rice toner, the I'm From rice toner. This is amazing. It's a very milky toner, still water light. You have to give it a good shake because it does separate a little bit, but basically just rice extract. This is 77.78% rice extract, which seems like it probably won't do a whole lot, but the amount that it refines your skin texture and gives you just sort of an even, bright clarity to your skin is phenomenal. And this is insanely moisturizing to the point that I almost feel like I shouldn't use a moisturizer after it because it's just so moisturizing, so hydrating. Even after one layer of this, my skin feels plump. It feels like it has sort of a protective layer on there, not heavy, not occlusive, but just beneath the surface of the skin, everything is sort of sealed in and wonderful. The only problem I found is if I use it day and night for more than a couple of days, I do get sort of congested pores. I need to have something that's a stronger acid than this, but yes, finding balance. I use this probably 4 times a week, give or take, just for a little bit of extra moisture, especially if I've been working and my skin is just angry and kind of deprived of nutrients and it looks zombie-like. This gets that glow pumped back up, gives it moisture that lasts through the night. It's amazing stuff. So that's a little bit about the toners and essences that I use and love and how to work them into your system. I think there's so many of them out there that finding some of those cult products like the MISSHA Time Revolution or the Secret Key or the Neogen Real Ferment, those are all awesome places to start because you don't have to get too fancy with a toner essence. You want something that's nourishing, has some good fermented ingredients. You don't want something that's water-based or has essential oils in it or is fragranced or has a lot of ingredients. You just want a few ingredients that are going to help nourish your skin and keep it damp, because that's the other big piece that I didn't talk about, is once you've cleansed your face, you have about 30 seconds or so to get some sort of moisture on, whether it's the dampness from the shower or where you've cleansed your face, or a toner or a mist or an essence. You need to do that so that your serums and whatever you use next absorb better. Your skin is more receptive when it's a little bit damp to the touch. And a toner essence is great for that because it's got all the great ingredients. You can pop it on, it keeps it damp so that you can put your serums on and it absorbs better and all that great stuff and all the synergy of it. But also, once you've started using it, you'll realize your skin just looks better. It acts better, it's happier, it's more receptive to other products, the makeup looks better, sunscreen goes on more evenly. Everything just looks better about it because it's had that extra TLC, if you will. So give it a try. You don't have to spend $1 million. There's some very expensive ones, like SK2 was probably the game changer in the US that got people interested in it because people started realizing, oh my goodness, when I use this, my skin looks brighter and more even toned and less breakouts and more moisturized and everything just sort of works better. But you don't need to spend $100, $200 for an essence because you do go through it relatively quickly. It's just, yeah, It will become a staple in your routine and you won't be able to live without it. Anytime I've stopped using a toner, I just realize a week into it, like, why does my skin not play nicely? Why doesn't it look right? Why doesn't it have that something? It's like it's lacking. I go back to my toner and a couple days later, it's back to normal. It's got that glow. It looks like what I want it to. And then my products just keep doing their thing on top of it. But it'll become a foundation in your routine. I highly recommend it. If you have questions, definitely shoot me a DM or leave a comment down below. I'm happy to help recommend things, but I would definitely start with the Neogen Micro Ferment just because it's a little bit thicker, so it really does give you the instant benefit of plumping and glowing and hydrating and everything you want in a toner. And if you want to branch out from there, sure, but it's a good price point and it lasts for a good long time. And it's not going to irritate sensitive skin. It's not going to clog pores. It's not going to throw off anybody's skin type. It's just going to take it to the next level. So I highly recommend this. It's not sponsored. None of these are sponsored or gifted or anything. It's just products that I love and have worked into my routine. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and let me know what toners and essences you love or what you're going to try out, or if you have questions, comments, leave them down below. Please give this video a like, and if you enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you didn't enjoy it, tell your enemies, and maybe they'll enjoy it. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful day.